There we go. This is a smaller picture than I usually do. But a little bit more intricate as well. So it should actually even out. Let's go in and fix my chat before I forget. Because every single time that automatically, make sure we have it showing all messages. We are up and running. I don't know why it's showing quite so blue. I guess because I'm in a different camera than normal, because some brilliant person dropped her good phone on a concrete block. So we are on the backup phone. This is a hopefully very temporary state of being, but you know, stuff happens. The other phone works. It's just very hard to see what's going on it. So this is a very different book than I normally color in. This is one I caught on Amazon. It's a lot of very busy pictures, but I kind of like it. Because, like, say I finish this side, I can just go to this side. Which helps, I think. This is a very cute little cottage type thing. And there go my birds. I know I was fairly quiet over the weekend. That is pretty much standard. Hopefully, in the next couple of days, I will be able to get out and actually start working on my bird bath. We did finally get an end to the drought, which is why I'm coloring instead of working on my bird bath, but it is what it is. And I'm very intentionally only doing a few of these bricks this particular color, because I intend to come in and do a few other colors with it. I think my birds have decided to be difficult. Hello, how are you today? My birds have opinions. I do apologize. I know they're noisy. Hello, how are we doing today? I had a whole bunch of people pop in very suddenly. I do apologize. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Please accept apology for the very noisy little birds in the background. They are just birds being birds. I also have Elmo on for them, and they are singing along. Hello, Sebastian. Hello, Anders. Of course. I would immediately break it, wouldn't I? Oh, Zelda is sounding the alarm. Something on the TV has apparently decided to be very scary. I am waiting for the, what's good I'm waiting for the rain to end. Things to dry out enough that I can paint a bird bath, hopefully in the next day or so. I'm also going to go have a conversation with my birds because they are being a lot right at the moment. What? I know I am not right at my computer, my phone right at the moment. I will be right back over and just giving my birds a minute because full beats are quiet beats. You can't reason with birds. You have to actually occupy them to get them to be nice and happy. it to one set of birds and not the other, because then they won't be quiet. There we go. And there's a difference in the noise level. Oh my goodness, those are adorable. I did not know that available like that. That is really stinking cute. Thank you for sharing those with me. Okay, now we can get back to what we were... No, I did not draw this. A book that I got on Amazon, I think. I wish I could say I drew something like this. That is not a talent that I personally possess, though. I know a lot of amazing artists. I'm just not one of them. Actually, I think we're going to stick with the metallic for up here. This is how I decompress. I work weekends in a very busy type of store, so Mondays are my big decompress day. Hello, Bradley. Sebastian, I'm not sure. I'm probably going to color them as sunflowers, but I think it's kind of up for debate. It's one of those things. It's just a coloring book. I just happen to like doing stuff like this because, you know, it's different, it's unique, it's fun, and you could do the same picture 16 different ways and have a different picture every time. I'm also quite happy that the millet theory worked really well because the birds were being a whole handful. Of course, they had to chime in again. I don't think I want that dark for the ground. I'm kind of debating between which part I'm going to do when. ADHD and OCD are arguing right at the moment, making me choose multiple colors at different moments. So we're going to just do the fence and let my ADHD and OCD war out what part we're going to do after that. Sebastian, I do not understand what you're trying to say, hon. I'm sorry. I love when it comes out where you can't even see the colors. Let me see. No, retouch is not what we want. Actually, there we go. Is that better? No. Well, it worked for a second. Let me see. Let's try something. It won't let me. I was trying to turn on my flashlight and see if that works. There we go. I'm trying to get this to where it's not quite so blue. Oh, there we go. That's better. Turning a flashlight on works. Sorry about that, guys. I am still not... I would not say I'm experienced when it comes to doing the lives. I'm very much a try and see what happens kind of person. I have been enjoying doing them. This made a huge difference, though. Also made a difference for me because I can see it better. You wouldn't think I was sitting in a very brightly lit room, but hey. What computes over the phone doesn't always match what's going on in the room. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. Mine was very hectic. Did that whole work thing. There we go. Sometimes it helps to calm the mind to do some of the background stuff before you get too focused on the craziness at the forefront. And I had too many pieces in my brain trying to do too many different parts at once, so I just disconnected a little bit and did this part instead, which I think is much better. Now the question is, what color do we want that little house to be? Anybody have any suggestions before I just grab a random color? I am kind of trying to allow for any, what's the word? Delay. I'm also kind of debating on what I want to do next. I think we're going to grab a random color and do that, or a random brown, and do that path. Ooh, that's a really good brown. Just needs a sharpening real quick, because that doesn't do me much good, does it? So I am hoping to get back to doing my regular long forms very soon. The project that I'm needing to work on is outside, and it's not something I can move into my shop. So I'm very stuck waiting on the weather right now. But hopefully we're going to smooth out a little bit here. Because we went from super hot and in the middle of a drought to raining and cool very quickly. I did just realize what I forgot to do. There we go. Thankfully, I didn't get any notifications in that time. I forgot to turn my Do Not Disturb off, or on. Which, I don't know on this phone exactly how much of a difference that makes. I know on the one that I broke, everything was still coming through. It was just doing so quietly. So, hopefully this one is a little better. So one thing I am realizing, I was going live on 2 platforms. I don't think I'm going to bother with the other that I was going live on for the time being. So I should be able to do a little bit longer here, which I've been enjoying them here a lot more. So I've had more people popping in and coming to talk to me, and that helps. It makes a big difference. There we go. We're starting to see some progress. Let's take this and go back here and get this guy done. It is amazing the difference a little bit of millet makes in the noise level of birds. Which, if you're not sure, millet is a little seed treat that they do love a great deal. It's not part of their everyday food, but it is a really good treat, and a lot of times when you give it to them, you hear nothing but the click of little beaks crunching on something, which helps. I'm not sure who I still have in here hanging out with me, but I do appreciate you. I feel like we have discovered something wonderful with figuring out that I can turn a light on through my phone. Definitely made a difference in what you guys see, matching more what I see. I can't believe I've been live 15 minutes already. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. And if you hear it coming through every so often, I really genuinely have my birds watching Elmo. It is their favorite thing in the world. The only thing they like more, I can't have playing in the background because I don't want to get copyright strikes. So, they like their Elmo, and it doesn't get me in trouble, so that's what they get. Okay, I am tired of doing background. And I'm still not 100% on what color I want to make the building. So we're going to start doing some leaves. I know I'm a little later today than I've been doing these the past couple of times. And that is because I spent the first part of the day celebrating my mother-in-law's birthday with her. She is 72 years old, which is pretty impressive. We almost lost her in 2020, so we try to make sure we celebrate with her pretty early. And I am going to be using a few different greens, just mostly because I can, and because it's kind of fun to do different things, different colors. There we go. And I figure if I have multiple greens, I should use them, right? There we go. And if you chime in the chat and I don't respond right away, please don't take it personally. It is very difficult to look at the page and the chat at the same time. And there's just a little bitty slight disconnect with my depth perception from from the camera up here to the page down here. A lot of that is because I do have some pretty severe depth perception issues, but makes it about impossible to color through the screen while looking at it, I mean. And like clockwork, I am live, so my dog is in the room snoring. And there are days I'm very glad for my headset. Now, I did intentionally choose a little bit more intricate of a picture today, because it does seem to do better when we're on here a little bit longer. That, and it's kind of fun to do something with a little bit more to it. So, now don't you start that nonsense, you two. Hush and eat your millet. Nope, that did not work, even a little bit. They are a handful, but I love them very much and wouldn't trade them for anything. Not sure where all of these are going over here, but we're just going to throw a few in. When it gets too intertwined, sometimes it's easier to just color a section rather than try to figure out, okay, this goes to this piece and all of that fun stuff. Which I'm pretty sure this book is computer generated, but I could be wrong. All I know is I saw something with pretty art and I sent my money and they sent me a book. The babies need a nap. Which that is a question I ask at least once a day. I ask them if they need a nap. If they continue screaming, that usually means yes, they do in fact need a nap. Which they are small children in bird form. And basically what that means is lights get turned down, TV gets turned down, and they quite literally will sit and take a nap. There we go. Sorry to run off on you like that. But sometimes you gotta do it. Having the types of birds I have is very much like having small children in your house that just happen to be tiny and feathered. There is no peace. They are just little bringers of chaos, and I adore them for it. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. It's hard to believe we've been live for over 20 minutes already. If you've come in, welcome in. I can't see who you are unless you type something in chat. If you type in chat and I don't answer right away, please don't take me personally. I can't see you until I look over. Sometimes the movement will catch my peripheral, but sometimes I get so focused on what I'm doing that I'll miss it. So it's not an intentional ignoring or anything like that. It's just me doing my thing. And apparently today me doing my thing is completely in disarray because I left everything everywhere except where I needed it to be. Like, for example, my coffee. Coffee is much easier to drink when it is in the same space as you are. And yes, that was actually a house phone. But I will be right back. I do apologize for that. Like I said, it is my mother-in-law's birthday, and her son just tried to call. So I was trying to help her out there. She had a stroke in 2020, so sometimes it's a little hard for her to do things like grab the phone quick enough for it to not go to voicemail. But we got her happily talking to her son now. So that is ideal. We want her to be happy. I know some people think birthdays get less important as they get older, but I think they get more so. Because once you hit a certain point, you get a limited number, and you gotta enjoy the ones you get. And I'm starting to realize I have an insane number of green pencils. But there's a lot of green in this, so it would be really dull if they were all the same shade. I am getting a little tired of switching up, so we're going to probably start limiting how many greens we do, but I'm kind of ready to start on the flowers at this point. But we might as well finish what we're doing and get this nice big bush back here taken care of. I'm actually a big fan of this really nice bright springy green. I think it's a fun color. There we go. Now we're starting to come to life a little bit, aren't we? And I am by myself, which is absolutely okay. Let's see. I think we're going to treat these guys here. We're going to do the nice orangey tone. We can always go back in and fill in some extra greens, but for now, I'm ready to get some of these colors going. I don't know about anybody else, but I get tired of doing the same color everywhere. I don't know if I'd call that a pink or an orange. There's what I was looking for. I just wanted a little bit of a lighter tone for this one. And I think we've almost hit the half-an-hour mark, and welcome in. I am apparently having a hard time sitting still today. I've had to pop up a few times. In my defense, each time has been for something that made sense for me to pop up out of my chair for. Among them being my mother-in-law's birthday and helping her answer a phone call. And putting my birds down for a nap because they decided to start screaming for attention. Which is always fun. We're going to do these guys all different colors because we can. I am just going in and breaking my pencil. That's always fun. I guess that did not go according to plan. That is the wonderful, fun, and chaotic part of doing the live streams as opposed to my usual long and short form videos is if something goes wrong, you can't just stop and refilm it. You just gotta go with it, laugh it off, and keep going. Which I think is definitely more of a realistic. Um, my life is a little chaotic. I love it. I'm not complaining even a teeny tiny little bit, but my life is chaotic. So, giving you guys a little glimpse into the chaos is always kind of fun. There's never any telling what is going to happen from one day to the next, which keeps things interesting. It's kind of a never a dull moment type of deal. There we go. And I know that looks like they're all on the same plant, but you know what? I have plants out front that have 3 and 4 different colored flowers on them, so we're going to do 2 on this one. We're going to do pink and blue because we can. I am by myself again, which is absolutely okay. I don't mind it. Oh, I think somebody accidentally hung up. He accidentally hung up on her. It happens. Okay, so hopefully that was the last time I have to pop up. Like 6 times in 30 minutes. That's normal, right? You never know. In this house, you never know what's going to happen from one moment to the next. Life is interesting and fun, and I wouldn't take anything for it. I actually thoroughly enjoy the fact that my life is a little chaotic and very different than your average person's. About the only part I don't absolutely love is that my partner is not here all the time. But he has a fairly important job, and because he works for a month at a time, he is also home for a month at a time, which is actually kind of awesome. I do enjoy having, like, not having to worry if he's got to go to work that day. When you consider I only work weekends, it really does work out well. There we go. I am definitely a fan of how this is starting to turn out. But I am also getting a little bit antsy to finish, which, you know, happens. I've been live a little longer than I normally do, which is not uncommon. There we go. I really thought about a red door or a blue door, but I decided I think I want to paint the whole thing a creative color. So I'm thinking a very soft blue. because blue is my favorite color. So we'll make the doors and windows a normal color. Makes sense, right? Let's see. Let's do just straight up blue. We are going to sharpen that for the moment. I am by myself again, which is okay. There we go. Hello, hello. Welcome in. We are almost trying for just the suggestion of color rather than doing a really heavy dark with it. It's just that little hint. And if you've been watching my lives at all, I use that term probably a little more often than I should, the suggestion of color. But you can kind of see what I mean. It's not, oh my goodness, that is blue blue, but it's a soft blue, like you would paint something like a little garden shed in the backyard. It would make sense, right? I'm actually a fan of how that turned out. I have runaway pencils. Excuse me. Just need a drink. Just good old-fashioned coffee, though. Nothing too fancy there. I don't know if this is supposed to be just leaves or if there's supposed to be flowers in there, but we're going to make it kind of a bush because it's messy and I don't feel like trying to sort it out. Basically what I'm doing now is just going back in and filling in the green spots that I didn't think to throw a color on earlier. Because we are getting close to finished. I did just realize I didn't do this. Or these. So I'll do those that color too. And come in behind these guys with this one. I cannot draw. Not to save my life. But I can usually figure out where to stick a color pretty well. Yes, that's why we're Jamie repairs and restores instead of Jamie draws. Because that's the type of stuff I can do really, really easily. I see things and I get a picture in my mind of what I want it to look like. And then all I have to do is make it look like that. Which, if you ever go through my videos, doesn't always go as planned, but that's okay. How boring would life be if it always went exactly the way we had it planned? Well, that came out very hard for some reason there. There are a lot of greens. A lot of green things in this picture. Which is why I'm making it a point not to have them all be the same. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Took us, 40 minutes to get there. but that's okay too. I'm just kind of adding some coppery tones to this. Add a little bit of shimmer because we know I love me some shimmer. Which, I don't know if you can tell it or not. The metallics have a little shine to them, which I'm a fan of. Now, I want an actually lighter blue to do the sky, because we don't want the sky to match the house. And it's actually about just a nice sky blue. And once again, it's going to be a very light, almost a suggestion of color rather than ring. Sometimes you don't need to go hard with the colors. You just need to get them in there, let them suggest their existence without being too over the top, which is kind of ridiculous coming from the lady who painted her entire workshop in Day-Glo colors. But I know restraint as well. But I think that is that. I think we've actually come to the end for today. Actually, got just a couple of little like rock type things here. But if I keep messing with it, I'm going to end up messing it up. So we are going to call it a day. Hopefully tomorrow I can get out and work on my bird bath. If not, we'll do something else here. Maybe we'll do both anyway, and you never know how I'm feeling from one day to the next. But until then, I will talk to you guys next time.